What if becoming magnetic to healthy love has nothing to do with becoming more attractive? Nothing to do with learning how to flirt better. Nothing to do with finding the perfect opening line. And nothing to do with working out how long you should wait before you reply so you don't look too keen. And actually, nothing to do with convincing somebody to choose you, because I think that we have completely misunderstood what it means to become magnetic to the right person. When I talk about becoming magnetic to love, to the right person, I'm not talking about sitting in your bedroom visualizing the most amazing person to knock at your front door. Although that would be lovely and so much easier, but probably a bit weird. And I would tell you that that's a red flag if someone shows up at your door asking to be your partner. Today, we're going to do something different. We're not talking about how to flirt or how to text or how to put yourself back out there. We're going to break down the actual anatomy of what an energetic match is, the internal state that pulls in the right person without you having to convince, chase, perform, do any of that. Let's get into it. If you are new here, hi, I'm Sam Morris, and I spent years as a probation officer reading people for a living, watching what actually drives human behavior under pressure, and now I help high achieving people become magnetic to healthy love, not through dating tactics, but through the state that you're in before you even open up that dating app. If you take one thing from this episode, let it be this: you do not have a dating problem. You have a container problem. And by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly what I mean by that and how to fix it. So let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah had been single for a while. Sarah is super intelligent. She really capable in every other area of her life. At work, she makes great decisions. She solves problems. She manages difficult situations. People actually come to her for advice. But when Sarah is in front of someone that she's attracted to, she starts to conduct a forensic investigation into the whole situation. So why did he put a kiss on that message yesterday but not today? Why has he watched my story and not replied? Why did he say he was busy? Is he actually busy? Did I say too much? Was I too keen? Should I message? Should I wait? What does that emoji mean? And underneath every single one of those questions is one true question. Is it safe here? The problem is that Sarah doesn't experience it like that. She experiences it as chemistry, as excitement, as butterflies, as attraction, or intuition telling her that something is wrong. But logically, it makes no sense. And so she becomes focused on the other person. So what are they doing? What are they thinking? Do they like me? Are they pulling away? And the bit that she misses is Sarah stops checking in with Sarah. Do I actually like this person? Do I like how I feel around them? Are they consistent? Do their actions match their words? Do our values line up? Is this person capable of giving me the relationship that I want? Suddenly, none of these questions matter, even though these are the things that before she started dating, she knew she wanted out of a person. The only question that seems to matter is, do they want me? And that is the opposite of being magnetic. And if you notice, this isn't like a dating tactics problem. Sarah doesn't need a better opening line. She doesn't need a 3-day rule. She isn't short on self-awareness either, because she could probably name all the patterns that she's got. The issue is where her attention goes the second that she becomes attracted to someone. It straight out of her body and onto them, onto auditioning, onto whether this one's going to hurt her, when actually the thing that determines who she attracts, who she tolerates, who she walks away from, is happening in her nervous system. It's happening in the state that she walks in with before she's even spoken a single word. And the problem is that you can't logic your way out of an inner state. You can only regulate yourself into a new one. So what is being magnetic? So energy gets thrown around a lot like glitter. But nobody actually says what it is. An energetic match it's not vibes, it's not woo-woo, it's your baseline state. If you think about it like this, your nervous system is broadcasting all the time. It's like a little radio. When you walk into a date, half expecting to be let down, that is your state. And that is your baseline. So you're tight, you're guarded, you're testing. And the thing about the brain is we are wired to co-regulate. So we literally read and mirror other people's states moment to moment. And this is below a conscious awareness, like it's below it. And it's called neuroception. So your body reading whether they are safe, and their body is reading whether you are safe. And this happens way before either of you decide that you fit together. So when you're broadcasting a brace, a tightness, you pull in one of two people. You pull in someone who matches you, who is also dysregulated, or you pull in the person who feels the test. You pull in the person that is like, no, thank you. And then your gremlins, your inner belief system, your subconscious goes, see, they always leave. When you have an energetic match to healthy love, it's so, so different because it stops recognizing chaos as chemistry and it starts recognizing safety as chemistry. Your regulated state starts meeting them. So basically, calm recognizes calm. And it's extremely difficult for someone to manipulate you when you are in that state. And that is what actually draws healthy love to you. And probably the biggest misunderstanding about being magnetic to healthy love is that you probably think, and a lot of the dating gurus out there teach this, about being able to walk into a room and have everyone want you. Thing is, you don't want everyone. You don't want everyone to want you because some of those people are a nightmare for you. And what being energetically matched means that the wrong people just leave your life without you then making that mean something about you. That's magnetic. So imagine two versions of you. Both of you meet someone. You both versions of you go on 3 really good dates. You like them. And then they go a bit distant. This version of you notices the distance, panics, you start to give more. You become more accommodating. You let things slide. You ignore things that you said you would never ignore again. You constantly check your phone. You send another message. You start wondering, what did I do wrong? And you become more invested in that person as they are pulling away. Now, the other version of you, the magnetic version of you notice the same exact behavior, but instead of saying, how do I get them back? You literally think just one thing. This is interesting. That's it. Because you decide you don't need to chase an answer. You watch, you gather information, you see whether this is a one-off or if it's a pattern. And if someone consistently shows you that they can't give you what you want in a relationship, you don't try any harder. You don't continue to audition. You believe them. That's you becoming magnetic. And it's not you playing any games. It's simply you stopped trying to get something that was never right for you in the first place. Now, the biggest problem that most people have is that healthy love is not how they expected it to be. So, for example, let's say that you've spent years being attracted to unpredictability, to people who come close and then they pull away, or people that you have to kind of win win over, or people that give you like incredible highs but then horrible lows, toxic people. And then someone healthy turns up. They text when they say that they'll text. They make plans. They tell you that they like you. You don't need to be a detective. And your nervous system goes, is this it? Where's the drama? Where's the adrenaline? Where's a 3-hour conversation with my friends analyzing whether they're actually interested? And most people take that as a lack of intensity, and that they'll say stuff like, I had no chemistry with them. And that's exactly why knowing what a healthy love looks like logically in your brain isn't enough. You have to become capable of receiving it. You have to practice not having chaos, not creating chaos when things are calm. You have to practice being present to available people. You have to practice not being surprised. Being on edge is exciting, and someone being consistent is boring. And that is part of becoming magnetic too, is learning to let being calm feel good for you instead of being scary. And that's what comes up for a lot of people. And so when you're not in a magnetic state, your energy starts to leak out. It's just here. And there's 4 main magnetic leaks. See if you identify which one is yours and then tell me in the comments. We have the shrinker. So you make yourself smaller. You go along with things. You agree. And you might find that this happens in not just dating, with the other people around you. And then you wonder why this happens. You wonder why you're around people that take up so much space, that talk so much, that don't let you express yourself. And the reason is because you taught them that that's what they could do. Then we have the chaser. This is someone who, the moment that someone pulls away from them, they start to pursue them. So it's really hard to be distant from them. And what you need to remember, if this is you, because this was me, you're not actually chasing them, you're chasing the relief of not being abandoned. Then we have the blocked receiver. So you give and you give, but you don't let someone give back. So someone offers to take care of you, and your whole body goes, no thanks, I'm fine. I don't want to get hurt. I don't need anyone. And the thing for you is that you can't magnetize what you won't let yourself receive. And lastly, there's the bracer. So you go in, you're already going for war. You're only half in. You've already planned your exit. You're literally, you've got one hand on the door because you're always like, things never work out for me. And other people feel that. And they won't get close to someone who is already halfway out of the door. Now, if you recognize yourself in any of these, and comment down below if you have, because as I said, I was a chaser. That was it. But I think I have been all of these at some point, because I didn't want to get hurt, or I just wanted someone to love me, depending on which state I was in at the time. And so none of these mean that you can't find love. None of these means that you can't live the life that you were destined to live that's going to be amazing, because all of them, they're just part of your nervous system that learned that's how you stay safe. Unfortunately, safe and magnetic are not the same state. And so now, this is the bit that's possibly going to annoy you. You could listen to this episode, you could listen to everything that I've just said and say, yes, that's me. You could save this episode, you could share it with your friend, you could write some notes in your notes app, and then someone that you really, really fancy, they pull away next week, and you start to chase them. Because information doesn't automatically become a change in behavior. And I know this because I spent years working with people who had been in prison, and I could put a theory to it. I could say, wow, I could tell them exactly what their problem is and how to fix it. But I knew just telling them that, oh, this is the problem, this is the reason you have this problem, didn't change their behavior in any way. Because knowing something doesn't mean that you're going to change your actions. You got to feel that. And this is the thing that I've become a little bit obsessed with in my work. Because we have more relationship information than we have ever had. We've got more theories, we've got attachment styles, we've got red flags, we've got narcissism, trauma, boundaries, nervous system regulation. You can spend 6 hours on TikTok, on YouTube, learning exactly why you do the things that you do. But at some point, you need to stop collecting explanations and start to practice having a different response. Because having boundaries is something that you practice. Receiving great things is practice. Handling rejection is something that is practice. Are you seeing a theme here? Having self-love, having self-trust, it's practice. And healthy love is something that is practiced. There is a reason that high achievers, they get stuck here. Because most people are brilliant at solving problems in their mind. They can understand it, they can name it, they can fix it. And it tends to work very well with careers, with money, with goals. But you cannot think your way into safety. Your insight lives in one part of your brain, but your survival response lives somewhere completely different. And that's why you could fully understand what your pattern is. You could sit and be like, yeah, I know that I have that pattern. And you could say that to yourself at 2 p.m. and then go on a date at 8 o'clock and completely abandon yourself and then go, why did I do that? Being aware, I believe, is like a map. It's not the end destination, but you read it and you get to that destination by walking it. And it's the same with becoming magnetic. Small, daily, feeling it in your body until this new state, this magnetic state, is not a technique anymore. It's actually who you are. And that is exactly why I built Magnetic as Fuck. On the 1st of September, I am starting a 21-day experiment. And the reason I'm calling it an experiment is because I've only ever done this on a one-to-one basis. So this is going to be as a group, collective, and we're going to use all of our magnetic energy to bring about things for everyone else. I want to see what happens for you when for 21 days you stop thinking about the person that you want to become and you actually practice being them. Every day I'm going to give you a short practice. We're going to work on rejection, we're going to work on boundaries, self-trust, confidence, receiving, all the things. And we're going to work on those gremlins that are probably running your life. The way you respond when things don't go your way, the way you show up around love. And this isn't only about getting a partner. There are people in there that are already in a relationship, but they constantly worry that that person is going to leave them. Becoming magnetic is not about making someone choose you. It's about who do you become when you stop needing someone else's choice to decide how you feel about yourself. That's the experiment. And imagine going into September as a person who checks your phone constantly because someone hasn't replied, and then coming out at the end of September as someone who is, whatever happens, I'm going to be okay because the right person is going to come to me when the time is right. Magnetic AF starts on the 1st of September. It is currently £22. The price is going to rise when we get to 200 people. The link is below this episode. If you have spent enough time understanding your patterns, maybe it's time for you to find out what actually happens when you start changing them. I will see you in there. And if this episode changed something for you, if it resonated with you, Make sure you save it, send it to a friend who has been auditioning for other humans to love them, and make sure that you tell me what your magnetic leak is. I will see you in the next episode.